Guys, Besrstown, here we go. So welcome to Besrstown NFL of and Justin show. So one, I'm doing a live video NFL talk. So welcome to Besrstown shows. I know you guys are excited about this thing. I'm excited about it. Now I'm not into this. Look, so I'm talking something I really want to talk about. I want to talk about things I want to talk about. Right now, for everything that's within the second day. So we got a lot of weeks, days to go. So we do two days for two teams. So cover each seed. Cover each team. First two teams and two teams each season. We're gonna cover for a little bit why I think that's gonna happen. How is it today and play to tomorrow? But we're doing this how like play to Thursdays. If not Thursdays, play Tuesdays and Thursdays. Get people excited for the draft season already. Cause offseason is not oriented, so I'm gonna do more coverage of that draft season. Cause let's you know political chat, Microsoft Plus, and talk about it. Like I want to do something bigger, and I want to do something cool for you guys out there. I know you guys. I want to cover teams what I think what could fix for the teams. I'm taking the Browns and 49ers and talk about predictions. I'm gonna do an offseason prediction as well. How it prediction until like probably probably like two days. Before the deadline comes and what's our fantasy. I'll be in check because you guys want to know what's my predictions, what's my thoughts. Probably could cover more words on it. I hear rumors and then you know what I mean. So it's like episode one, and if you're a fan of that team, check out something J channel because that's the channel you should watch. And I mean, I'm not trash talking. This is better. I know you guys like the clock, Bronson, the clock, the first one pick, so it's Cleveland. So I'm gonna do now. Start with Cleveland Barnes, like 30 minutes talking about Cleveland Barnes and what's not there. And if you see that time, is out there. So what I said needs out there. So beware of the Cleveland Barnes. I know you're saying like, well, Cleveland Barnes actually was horrible. I want to talk about the past with the dev shit. I'm talking about now why I think Cleveland Barnes should need to prove on. So Cleveland Browns. What happened in 2016? I'm gonna tell you why they need it, why I think it's gonna happen. So probably do tomorrow, probably do weekly, because I'm gonna say what's Cleveland Browns 2016. Why I think what's happened. So I'm gonna check the record and why I did Cleveland Browns dead. The Lex put 115 next year, and Cleveland Browns had a lot of bad luck. So I'm gonna see what's up, what are that. So I'm gonna check the player stats. So what the team stats statistics last year? Who leading carries? What I think should do. Team leaders was passing yards was Corey Kester, 102 for 9 touchdowns. A lot of passing quarterbacks. Corey Kester had 50,080 good. 44 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Corey Kester. So what's somebody he's doing up there? The quarterback is here's the point. He's the one pick for next year. It's a rookie. I think Kuma had a quarterback. He's from UFC. When he played, he picked us the Chargers and he thought 2 or 3 attempts, but played good. Had 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. 1 interception and I think that This kid he done 180 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 2 picks. So Cleveland need to get better and improving. You know what I'm saying? So again, the Browns is just that bad. You know what I mean? I think Cleveland needs to get better, but again, he's a fucking rookie, so I know this kid has to do my pick. If you get brought for the yeah, potentially, like, she's 2 years old. Passer rating is 19.3, and it's 19.3, and the ratings are. You know what I mean? But I think the Browns need the offensive lineman. Rushing yards, J.D. Cover, 160 yards, 952 yards. The precision games, let's see. Now you have a bunch of big veterans like Joshua Crown, Nacho 3. The worst thing for Cleveland Browns, and I'm talking before I talk about this. It's really takes. Yes, this guy's from 19. He's from the running back in the career as like 254 starts. This is the year. Well, I think it's done. I think they need just a running back. So I think he's getting the bill against Pittsburgh, but I think he needs to start winning again. 252 yards. But I think this year, the year the running backs going to be better. Well, Cleveland needs to draft his offensive lineman. The Cleveland Browns, I'll trade down. We need to draft a safety to see what the ratings are. Far as what the Cleveland Browns top needs are what I need. Taylor Power, 7 yards. Packers with 44 yards, and Joe Shaw. If I was Cleveland Browns, hold on, I'm talking about stats. Receptions, Jerome Moore Taylor. So sources and posted states. Okay. If I was the Browns, you have a receivers, right? You don't need Ashton Jeffrey. Because you have a good system. You know what I'm saying? You get Trevor Power as 700 catches, and Trevor Power can have a little bit of power. A little hard, you know what I'm saying? Tyler Power finally finds a home. It's from Ohio State. He's 27 years old. That's his first season. So you keep Trevor Power. You know, and I came from Cleveland. But I think Cleveland needs to fix the defense, definitely. You mean? I think Cleveland needs a lot of help in the entirety of football. Now I was a Browns, I trade down. Because the quarterback position is not going to be bad, it's not good. What's the things in it? So Vikings, thanks. Offensive. So what's the statistics? So what's the offensive Vikings? I want to see the offensive Vikings. I want to see teammates. Because Cleveland Browns are being bad teams. Okay. Offensively, the passing yards, they're down the high, like 27 yards. So new Vikings. So what I'm going to do now is check the Vikings. Ranks and that takes the Cleveland stat. That's what I'm doing now. If I'm top of the draft, I think I should do it. Draft a lot of his line. You know what I mean? I have a great They have a quarterback. You know, if you get a good quarterback, you throw up off the lineman around him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking 21 more statistics. What are Cleveland Browns? I'm gonna go to Cleveland Browns. So let's see. Let's not see this PM. I think it's not gonna work for the Cleveland Browns. Let's take away Cleveland Browns. I'm gonna go and talk about why. So Cleveland Browns. Rather for these piano, I really ask for to go just to see what stupid they are. The Browns did a lot of work. They need a guy the most supported in the field. Probably 1 year that's contract. Like if they take quarterback, Mitch quarterback official pick, that's they didn't need a quarterback at all. They didn't know no quarterback from Deshaun Watson now. But Trubisky, they're not yet ready. You know, I couldn't. Sure, instead was one more touch since 37 and 8. So there's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? The Bears, listen, the Browns, correct them off. But there's a Brown, it's a Browns. But the nine, they should not, they should not be allowed. Cleveland Browns, let's listen to Cleveland Browns, right? Cleveland Browns, side faces to come for year after year. Cleveland sucks, okay? Really bad. What are they doing now? Just get that fucking offensive lineman. You know what I'm saying? Top needs to keep running. Start looking at the free agency quarterbacks. That don't work for shit. I'm saying some statistics. Then that's why I'm so pissed off. So I would check the Browns statistics. I just prediction statistics. Why they're not there yet? What's the numbers? I'm more into statistics with the weeks and what I think what they're not good. They're actually what they make this so bad. You know what I'm saying? They're making points. They're 60.5 points. You know what I'm saying? It's a year running back. You get that for running back. 18. Passing 28. They're only 11 yards a game. I'm saying? They now offer linemen that's good on protection. Archie Davis is really good. I think Archie did have potential. Defensively points 28.2, 332, they won passing yards. 132, 7 point yard. So Cleveland Browns need a lot of fucking fix to do. You fix it defensively. Offensively, offensive lineman it's not gonna work defensively. So if I was Cleveland Browns, I would draft Pepper. I would draft let's see, what's the best defensive person? They need to draft offensive lineman. You know what I'm saying? First one pick. If I was the Browns, I'd trade it down. They need a lineman. They need defensive backs. They need defensive money. Stop the run. You know what I'm saying? If I was Cleveland Browns, see what the best offensive lineman in football. You need a line. Offensive lineman in an NFL draft. Because then you need a draft. You need a draft lineman. What's with a bunch of picks as well. Because I think Ponzi still draft a lot of people. Probably do a mock draft later on, but for me, I'm doing now Cleveland. You know, I say the needs, and now it's just long-term quarterbacks not gonna be good. You got receivers, you get invested. It's the year running backs. Quarterback need to go downhill again. You know what I'm saying? They're definitely a rookie quarterback. You know what I'm saying? They could okay, they're my pick. You know what I'm saying? You know. And I'm embarrassed and forget it. I want to say the end of it. You know, they have into why I think they could have. They need statistically about draft picks. What did it have? 2017. So here you go. What the draft picks are? Let's see. What are the about draft picks? That first one pick. There are two first round picks, right? So they want the top 10, 15 picks, which is good. You know what I'm saying? They got two. I'm just looking on tap. I'm just explaining why. The Browns has 2 first-round picks. Eagles draft pick was pretty good. There's 2 picks. 4 picks. So it's still 4 picks. The Browns have 4. Okay. Pick. And Eagles being dumbass wants to have first 2 top picks. 2 all draft picks. The Titans pick. Second one. Their round pick. 3. So now Patriots pick. Yes. They had a stack of draft picks this year. So Cleveland Browns have statistically near offensive lineman. So if I was dumb, if I was Cleveland Browns, you don't need a fucking job for a fucking quarterback year after year after year because it's not gonna work. Look at Detroit Lions. You saying? It's like Lions trying to fucking receive every fucking year. Remember they Detroit Lions do shit for years. You know, I'm listen. So that's Detroit Lions. Every fucking year. Every fucking year. Offensive line. So I receive every single fucking year. I'm saying it's not gonna work that much. You got to touch system of it, and it's why Lions went over 16. Probably talk about more later on, but this is why kind of want to talk about more. You know, I'm trying to spit to you. It is very stupid. Cleveland Browns fucked up many times. And the ownership Cleveland Browns too. I'm gonna try to do tomorrow as well. Oops. Sorry about that, guys. I'm here, so. Sorry, Browns keep fucking up year after year. You know what I mean? Let's see for Jeff's 2017 first of all, I'm thinking it's gonna. Why I think it's a defensively. And what the Browns play is just put 4-3. What kind of team was 2017? Let's see. Cleveland Browns defensive. Let's see. Let's see what defense they won. Yeah, it's okay. Sorry, I don't know the Browns so much, but I definitely want to see what's gonna happen. So Browns are tier as defense. So I'm talking about top 15 players in the draft. I think the Browns need. Cause I need that fucking little hole in the defense complete. They need the quarterback is put away because it's not gonna be for long. You know what I'm saying? They should Josh Watson's it's not gonna go somewhere. They have a demo pick, so they can at least, you know, 17. So I'm talking about 17 and for process and for best draft process. So I'm not sure what thing is I think it's kind of got that. So this is just what I need. I think the top 5. And for process it, and why I'm saying is they need running backs. So it's about the. I know the quarterback, forget the quarterbacks. Quarterbacks not gonna work. So if they're a shitty shit quarterbacks though, it's about running backs. Which they should draft running backs. You mean? Let's see. But it's about receivers. Mike Williams is pretty good now. No. I think the fuck.
Bucky, but there's some other teams maybe looking more towards
the fuck so stupid shit. Now the Browns have running backs. If I was the Browns official pick, I'll just have running backs. Check out. And then Flipper, the pick is pretty good. Except for David Cook. I think we should do a receivers. Mike Williams is pretty good at receivers. Official receivers, tight ends, or Jehovah, Alabama. Now, offensive tackle, you need a Cam Williamson from Alabama. That's for top 15 picks. Now, defense says, I would take Miles Garrett. uh, but if I was a Browns first one pick, I would take off. I'd definitely take an outside backer. I take Alabama. Favorite teams because I guess could play defensively, or you could play inside backers. You know what I mean, Will Foster. You can have a Malik Hooker from Ohio State or Jared Pepper. If I was Levi, I would draft Malik Hooker. Get a defensive back, a safety. I mean, if I was to do get the defense, you know, offensive lineman. So if I put that through me first 50 picks, that protection. Okay, Robinson. You know what I mean? Draft him up. Draft freaking damn with it. So that's pretty good at proper offensive lineman. You need to tackle, so it's sack quarterback. I'll take Alabama. This guy's the best. Defense ends. My girl is great. You can play for good. Now, if you put official picks, I think she said Malik Hooker, Myers Garrett. And actually, she take Jay Aaron for Alabama because you're pass rushers. You know what I'm saying? Cleveland Browns are horrible of that position. So, Browns need to draft at least at that position. Because I think the reason why I need offensive lineman is protection. So, you know what I mean? Well, if I was a mock draft, I'd take Peppers, Malik Hooker, Malik, Michigan State, defensive ends. I'd take offensive lineman, defensive lineman, linebacker. She's about the whole horrible. You need defensive tackles too. You know what I'm saying? So if I take a guy from Women Foster of Alabama, winning Ohio State. You need offensive lineman. The protection is so damn bad. So I'm not. That's the thing. This is why Cleveland should do draft it, or draft some people free agencies. So that team, like they Cleveland need is young talented. Now they have two first round picks. That's good. Joe, you build them. You know what I'm saying? They're good players in the draft picks. Probably just gotta more what Cleveland has. But this is why I put Browns. Whenever get these right, they need offensive linemen in football. And of course, you help. And Cleveland's at the fucking year. I mean, but yeah. So you have to hear shitty positions. Cleveland's a really bad offensive lineman this year. So I just talk about the Cleveland's you fucked up. So I think Cleveland Browns got drafted. Cleveland Browns are not good. The ESPN doesn't get it. You know what I mean? So the other offensive lineman is pretty good. So the first pick, I think Cleveland should get as offensive lineman. They're talking about San Francisco. So, but if you want to talk about Browns, so if you want to talk about you need see what the series in the future. You know. I'm gonna talk about mostly is the one I need, and then for doesn't get it. You know what I mean? I know if it's talk about the draft. I'm talking about the draft. So let's see what happens to combine the fantasy until my draft. So okay, first one pick, the second pick. This is to invest into a Sheffield pick this year. I'm tired of hearing the same one thing. The Browns are not gonna get things good. If I was a Browns fan, at the quarterback, because this ain't gonna work. It's year after year. You know what I mean? Think right now, Walker was like Chris as my team years ago. The fucking Bears back in '08, you didn't fix it defensively. Right now, the Riders are a young team. Take care of your core. You mean? Now I'm talking about another team. I'm talking about. And also San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco 49ers. Damn it. Fucking sick. Sorry about that, but San Francisco 49ers, they're so fucking distraction. They didn't get enough Callum Kaepernick. He's a huge distraction for them last year. Um, they have horrible shit stuff. I don't have Kyle Shanahan is the head coach and John Lynch is the GM. But this 49ers team is going to rebuild. Yeah, this team needs to fucking up. So, if I was the position for the Niners, they are horrible in this year's draft picks. Sometimes San Francisco draft 49ers draft picks and to why. I'm different. I'm using different style. Let's see, they have the first one picks and second one picks. They have a lot of picks. This yeah, how it's gonna be. But that's 7 picks. It's not gonna work for Niners. Why I think it's happening this year. I know you used to put on job. Why I used to put on off the lineman, they need a quarterback, and what they need the stats are for successful 49ers. Because they're fucking horrible that shit. You know what I'm saying? People want to see that the 49ers are doing horrible. The whole kind of Kaepernick shit. They need an American quarterback, not a Kaepernick quarterback. Let's talk about 49ers. I had a hard fight against 2 strict takes and let's see. We'll see what that's being it's being said and okay. I'll do it see I pay attention to it. So for the 49ers, trying to spot, roster is 7's best. Turn this best, but with this time, trying to make one more replacement option. A quick case, he became Kyle Shanahan, for among another Falcons. Offensive, defensive credit, turn on from the 500 to 13, 15, Super Bowl team, and 16. Really easy passes could break Roman's custody. One could, this is 214 has changed. Called for 3 years in a row. The rebound on Shanahan. Final or a year, more or a year away from finish. Feel more away from continuing to go to Super Bowl to change. But yeah, long shot. So for stats last year when I think so bad. 214. They won 2 games against the LA Rams, so statistics leading. Kevin Kaepernick and Billy Garrett. Blake Garrett one doesn't Kevin Kaepernick 241 competition yards, 6.6, 18 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Yeah, color side, 17, 28. Receiving touchdowns, Jeremy Curtis, the receiving yards, very well so. But let's see, defensively. Leading tackle, the brother hung combo, total 95, assistance okay. The sacks they have. The sacks are bad. The receptions are bad. It was Jalen Hayes won 2 interceptions. So this is what became bad. So what's the statistics for offensive line last year? 19.3 points. 308.1. 31st in the league. In offense. 281.9 passing yards. 126 in the league. So they're good when they have a good running back. But they need to have a quarterback. And they need to have an offensive lineman. So let's see. What is defensively? Let's say defensively because I'm too much into invested. defensively. Right, San Francisco need to do. And I think I think for Niners, 19.3 rushing yards. What's the post said?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Pretty good. Talking about the Cleveland Browns, the Japanese.
Are you talking about the Chicago Bears moving to Philadelphia?
That's next year. So that's next week. Some of the Cleveland Browns and Philadelphia Eagles. Sorry, 49ers. Damn it. First 2 picks. I talk about the Browns.
Okay, we're doing the first 3 picks. So we got the
First 2 picks.
first two. So we have the Cleveland Browns, right?
And
the thing about the Cleveland Browns is they need a lot of help everywhere. They just don't need one thing. You're not going to get one franchise player to turn that team around. I know that the safest pick and the most popular pick seems to be this Myles Garrett kid. The thing about the defensive ends in this draft is there's so many edge rushers. It's hard to sit there. You're taking just as much of a chance getting an edge rusher in this draft as you are a quarterback, just because the edge rushers are so deep. So, I mean, you take this Myles Garrett kid. He may be the next Bruce Smith, right?
mm-hmm.
But let's say that, Derek Barnett out of Ohio State is the next Reggie White. So whenever you're looking at a pass rush class that's so deep, a secondary class that's so deep, you can afford to move back. And I think that would probably be the best bet for Cleveland to actually trade back, because we know that there's going to be some teams in the market for a quarterback now. This with Tony Romo being in free agency, the Patriots willing to listen to deals for quarterback. There may be some teams like, say, the Texans that are a quarterback away, maybe from being contenders, true legitimate contenders. Because, I mean, right now, when we see the Houston Texans, their quarterback play is a joke. And to be honest with you, there's a couple of other teams that are, to me, a quarterback away. Of course, one of those being Chicago. But Chicago's got a high pick, so I don't know if they would trade up to get a quarterback, being how they have a high pick. But you've got a couple of teams that you could see that may be a quarterback away that have a pretty decent, offensive line. But they just, like, Minnesota's one of those teams.
Mm-hmm.
I like Bridgewater myself, but, you're going to have a quarterback that can stay consistent. So, I mean, you still have Adrian Peterson there for now, from what it looks like. And, you could probably make a viable run. 49ers look desperate for a quarterback, but like I said, the 49ers, they're in the same position as Cleveland is. They need a lot of help anywhere, and plus, since they're so high, they're not going to trade up. So, if I'm Cleveland, I'm marketing that first pick. Whether somebody be totally in love with Myles Garrett, whether somebody be in love with Mitch Trubisky or Deshaun Kaiser or Deshaun Watson, Devon Kaiser or Deshaun Watson. To me, that it's not going to help Cleveland to get any one of these players, since they need help so many. And I understand that they have two picks, in the first round. But I go Cleveland trades their number 1 pick back to the New York Jets. And the New York Jets select Mitch Trubisky, first pick, first overall.
The Cleveland Browns has 2 draft picks. So the Eagles draft pick and one pick. That's the thing about Cleveland Browns. They go draft players. I think that Cleveland could be a better team. You say?
Yeah. I think I trade back to with New York, maybe accumulate some more picks, maybe some second round picks, a third round pick or something. The secondary in the defensive pass rush is so deep in this draft. You need offensive line help too. Now the
So
offensive line isn't so deep, but they need offensive line help. But the pass rush in the secondary will be there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So focus on the stuff that's not going to be there, or something that you can really get to help your team. I think that Cleveland would be better off to trade back. I could see the Jets trading up because the Jets are not a horrible team, but you're not going to do anything with Ryan Fitzpatrick. I mean, it's only a tiny plus. He's kind of holding them up for money, and you need to get more players in there. Get a rookie quarterback. This will be his team in a few years. You can develop him, whatever you want to do. But they're that one of those teams that could be in the market for a quarterback. Like I said, I'd be shopping this off. I wouldn't want to trade back too far in the draft because of the player that I want Cleveland to get. But New York Jets makes a lot of sense. Trade up, trade back with the New York Jets. Let them get the player that they want to get. And then you can draft the player that you want to get without having to go with the ESPN experts. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see Garrett as being – I mean, I see him being a really, really strong defensive end. I just don't see that much difference between him and a lot of the other edge rushers coming out of college. So if you can get an edge rusher later on, you're reaching at this point in time for Myles Garrett. You know what I'm saying? Just because the class is so thick.
oh yes, plus we change this up now already. No more. So with the Jets, between the Jets and the Bears, stick with fishbowl picks with the draft. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was talking about earlier the Jets. So I'm talking about why do they 49ers to get the Bears and the Jets? So
Yeah, depending on how the draft goes, if the Jets are sold on a guy like Mitch Trubisky or Deshaun Kaiser for that matter, if they're sold on one of those two guys or Deshaun Watson, they have to wait for the 49ers, and the Bears are still in the hunt for maybe a quarterback as well, because we know that Jay Cutler's not the answer. So, I mean, are you going to chance not getting one of the guys that you want? Because the Jets have worked on that defensive front for years, so they don't really need a lot of defensive help. If you want to say they need some help in the secondary, like I said, this draft is so deep in the secondary, and it is deep in the defensive front. But if you're going to look at the secondary, that's pretty deep. You'll be reaching, I think, since it's so deep, you're kind of reaching for certain players at this point. ESPN says, oh, well, this guy's A, this guy's B, this guy's C. There's no A, B, or C in this draft. It's like A, A. Then you get into your B type players. But it's just so deep that if you're going to get a secondary in the first round, it's going to be kind of hard to justify that. So it makes sense for New York to get a quarterback because they've neglected the quarterback situation for a while. They got Bryce Petty, who I thought was going to be a lot better than he is. We don't know how he's going to develop. They got Hackenberg, and they've kind of let me see. They've kind of we don't know exactly what he's going to be in the NFL. Now you have two quarterbacks out there. I think it makes sense if Cleveland, since they need so much help everywhere, I think it makes a hell of a lot more sense for Cleveland to trade back with the New York. New York gets the quarterback that they want. Cleveland gets some extra picks in this draft to help their team all the way around. So what do you have for Cleveland Bears?
I think I said it. I think it's for Malik Hooker from Ohio State.
Malik Hooker? Nah.
I think it could be good for a different state. But I didn't have it bound as I think as a different tactic. I think I saw Myles Garrett from Alabama, Texas A&M.
I don't for Texas A&M. Yeah, I just think that Malik Hooker and Myles Garrett are going to be a reach. Like I said, the secondary is pretty thick. You still got Jabril Peppers out there. You still have you're going to have Marshawn Lattimore out there. So the corners are really deep. The defensive ends are really deep. I mean, you're kind of reaching at this point because I don't think that there is going to be too much. I don't think that there's going to be too much of a difference between a guy like Malik Hooker and Jabril Peppers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think that it's. You're talking about the first pick overall. You're talking about the first pick overall. And whenever you get that first pick overall, he better contribute immediately. But if there's a lot of guys that are at that position that are going to contribute immediately, then why would you pick this guy up? I think that what I would do if I was Cleveland is I would trade back with the New York Jets. You know, get that, was it the fifth pick or the sixth pick that they got? I think they got the fifth pick, right?
Mm-hmm. First with pick and tip pick.
Okay, I would trade back with the New York Jets, maybe try to get a second round pick or a third round pick for that pick. Let the Jets get a quarterback, and then if I'm Cleveland, I get Leonard Fournette, running back out of LSU, because they need some help in there. I mean, Leonard Fournette, you have the bad thing about Cleveland is they're starting to get wide receivers, but they stay hurt quite a bit. A running back like Leonard Fournette will be able to carry the ball and get you 5 to 6 yards a carry. I think he'll have a pretty decent NFL career. Now, they do need to work on that offensive line, which is something that I'd probably pick in between the tackles and the guards. Try to get some offensive line help, maybe get one of the best offensive linemen in the first round with the second pick that they have. The offensive line is not that great in this draft, but get some offensive line. Get Leonard Fournette, because this year's draft class to me is kind of weak personally. So if you're a more developed team, or if you're a team that has less holes, like New York, you can pick up a Mitch Trubisky and you can let him develop behind that, behind a decent offensive line, a decent defense, a pretty decent running game. The wide receivers are not completely horrible. So I think that he could develop a little bit better in New York than he can in Cleveland. Whereas Cleveland now gets a running back that is similar to Bo Jackson, similar to Adrian Peterson, can get you heaps of yards and can keep that defense honest to where, if they run with Robert Griffin, or if they run with what's that other kid's name, Cody Kessler, next year. This is what Jerry did this year. You know what I'm saying? He took Ezekiel Elliott, and it has helped keep that defense. It's helped the defense. It's helped the offense, and they can score. This is what Cleveland needs to do. I think that they need to go after Leonard Fournette in this draft, so it can help legitimize that offense. And I think that would be their best bet. And then you can get it. They can get a secondary player in the second round. You can definitely get a secondary player. You can get a pass rusher. Those guys are going to be available in the second round. The more picks you can accumulate in this draft, you can fix up your defensive line. This is to fix up your defensive line, fix up your secondary, and fix up your running game, because there's a shit ton of running backs in this draft. There's a shit ton of pass rushers in this draft. There's a shit ton of secondary players in this draft. I just think that Leonard Fournette is going to be one of those guys. A lot of people are comparing him to Bo Jackson, and I think he's going to be one of those guys that is going to be you'll regret not getting him later if you're Cleveland and you have the ability.
He was lucky because he said the first two in top 10. So Cleveland's going to rebuild. As opposed to San Francisco, that's shit. And then I want a defensively. You know what I'm saying? So San Francisco, I didn't draft that Francisco. Put it back. I think San Francisco will pick I think we'll pick Deshaun Kaiser.
I think San Francisco. Oh, that's what you have San Francisco taking, Deshaun Kaiser?
Yep. Because I think the Browns gonna trade down. Uh, so now, I think since I think Cleveland Browns are safe. So I didn't jump the money back.
Okay, go ahead. What I have San Francisco doing is since from my draft right now. This is my draft right now, my mock draft.
Yeah,
Yeah. What I have San Francisco doing is since Cleveland traded their pick back and the New York Jets jumped them to get Mitch Trubisky, I have Cleveland selecting Myles Garrett, defensive end, Texas A&M. They're going to build up that defense. They're going to shore up. They're going to have one of the deadliest pass rushes in that division. Now, like I said, there yet again, they went pass rush last year. I think they go double down on it this year. I know that they went pass rush last year, but you're going to get another top-tier talent to go along with your last year's top-tier talent. And I think that they build up on that. Like I said, neither one of these quarterbacks, since the quarterbacks in this draft are not going to turn your team around immediately, you might as well as go ahead and build up on that, strengthen that position so you won't have to worry about it coming into next year's draft. Now, the thing about getting a quarterback this year, and why a lot of teams are going to be, kind of delayed about picking quarterback this year, teams like Houston, teams like I said, New York Jets, the teams the Bears, those teams, okay, you can get a quarterback in this draft. You know what I'm saying? You could probably let them fall to you later on, but, it's safer for them to get quarterbacks because you look at the Chicago Bears, they have a hell of a running game. They have
good defensive linebackers.
Yeah, they got great wide receivers right now, especially if Alshon Jeffries comes back. Your wide receiver core is fucking awesome. You have a dual threat running game. You have Jordan Howard. You have Jeremy Langford. Both of those guys are fucking beasts. Your offensive line needs a lot of work, but you're not going to look at offensive line in here. Your defense is coming along. It's coming along slowly, and like you said, you do need secondary. But you can get secondary. You can get your player, Jabril Peppers, probably in the second round. So why reach for a secondary player? So it makes sense for a team like Chicago to get a quarterback since, there's not a lot else that they need out there. And they can develop a quarterback a hell of a lot better than, say, a team like Cleveland can, who needs to get weapons for the quarterback. You got a running game. Cleveland has zero running fucking game. I know a lot of people say, oh, well, Crowell is pretty good and Johnson. No, them guys are not. No defense is going to take them seriously as a running threat. You look at Ezekiel Elliott, defenses are going to prepare for Ezekiel Elliott. You look at Le'Veon Bell, defenses prepare for Le'Veon Bell. Adrian Peterson, defenses prepare for Adrian Peterson. I think that
John Howard right there.
Yeah, Jordan Howard. I mean, you look at the kind of games that he's had. And so I think that if they get a quarterback, he doesn't immediately have to produce immediately, kind of like what Dallas did this year. They didn't need Dak Prescott to do what he did, but he did it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But they still had Zeke. They still had a pretty reliable defense. They had some really good wide receivers to allow him to grow. I feel Chicago is kind of that same team to where you look at the results of Jared Goff in L.A. Jared Goff didn't have any of those weapons. So I think that, I look at San Francisco a lot like L.A. You're not going to bring in a Mitch Trubisky. You're not going to bring on a Devon Kaiser. You're not going to bring in a Deshaun Watson and expect to win. It's going to take you 3 or 4 years to win in that organization. And if you can if you go ahead and get them guys, you chance on ruining their career, just like we're looking at the dismantling of Andrew Luck now. Will Andrew Luck ever be that guy? We don't know, because I think that, they've paid him a lot of money, but they haven't brought any talent in around him. So why not go ahead and get that talent now? I think San Francisco goes for Myles Garrett. They beef up that defensive line and then really play because they're playing that very, very defensive league, or it's the defensive division over there in the NFL. So I have San Francisco picking Myles Garrett.
And the Bears, Justin? I think Chicago Bears would draft Deshaun Watson. I think Deshaun Watson's awesome. You know what I'm saying? Watson's could run. And the Bears need a quarterback. So
I thought you were going to wait and do the Bears next week, Besrstown.
I'll do next week. So
yeah, well, we can do that next week.
Yeah.
That way you can do your homework.
Yeah, the record the bet. I decided to do the Eagles and the 49ers because that's gonna be work because I'm gonna that work and have 49ers in them. Because the Browns, I know the Bears I think my head, but like I said, the Jets. So I'm doing 49ers are not good defensively. I think the Bears. I don't know the Bears back my head. I'm doing more. Let's be fair. I'm gonna call it the Bears. And now, one thing of Vegas is going to be pretty soon next week. So just hopefully teams can go for that. I need defensively. And Cleveland is lucky. You mean? Cleveland's lucky, so it's like fast track. If 49ers, they're not. They're a step behind. You mean?
Well, that's why I'm saying if I'm Dallas, I don't know if I don't try to move up and get Corey Davis, because like I said, the secondary is so deep in this draft, and everybody's saying pass rush and secondary. I'm like, shit, the pass rush is so deep that you're kind of at some point reaching. You know what I'm saying? If you get a pass rusher that's going to be lights out, all-star, by all means, you got the 28th pick, more than likely pick it up. But the pass rush in this draft is so damn deep that you're trading apples for oranges almost by picking one up in the first round. So I think that, like I said, just looking at Cleveland, looking at San Francisco, what's the point of getting the Myles Garrett, and what's the point of getting if you're the 49ers, what's the point of getting a quarterback that that you're probably not going to win with for at least 2 or 3 years, and that's if you're lucky. Then you got to get offensive linemen to put around him because your offensive linemen are kind of a joke. Well, I mean, they used to have a legit offensive lineman. I mean, yeah, they need a lot of work on that team, and I think Cleveland's in the same boat. I think that you get they can get an offensive lineman in the first round with that second pick, get an offensive lineman, but get Leonard Fournette, and and to me, like I said, I would shoot for one of these wide receivers too if I was Cleveland, but you can get wide receiver in the second round too. John Ross will probably be close to down there. The Cowboys are going to get a wide receiver, I think, in the first round. They're either going to get John Ross or they're going to get Corey Davis, whether they move up or not.
And to be honest, I should definitely stay. So, for he doesn't know me. They're not just Ashton Jeff. He's staying with the Bears. He damn sure is not going to Cleveland. He damn sure is going to San Francisco. He came to a Bears Super Bowl. So.
Well, I know that the NFL Network has Tony Romo down to Denver, San Francisco, or Houston.
I know Romo's gonna be on the Bears and Jets next week. So I'm gonna probably talk about next week. So I'm talking about next week. Romo's in Bears. So I have it at ESPN.com now.
I mean, if I'm Romo and the Bears get some offensive linemen, maybe not even in this draft, maybe a rag and tag group out of free agency. The free agency market's going to be epic this year probably. But if Chicago can get some offensive linemen, next year will probably be a good offensive lineman coming out. But if the Bears can get some good offensive linemen, we know you need secondary. That's something there. You could probably get another pass rusher into the third round. But if you can get some offensive linemen in Chicago, if I'm Romo, I don't know if I wouldn't consider playing in Illinois again because you have Alshon Jeffries there. And if Alshon Jeffries comes back, then you got Kevin White. Kevin White is there. Kevin White, we still don't know what he can do, but I think he has potential to be a Pro Bowl wide receiver. And, you could have a kind of a similar thing to what they have in Atlanta going for you. If you're Romo, that has to look appetizing. There you go. Get a tight end. Get a tight end in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Get one of those big, nice tight ends that they have coming out in this draft. And there you go. You got a nice tight end who can also do some pass blocking. The best out of the two. I know you got a tight end coming out of Oklahoma. You got a tight end coming out of Stanford. And you got a tight end coming out of Miami. And all three are getting a lot of praise in this draft, coming into this draft. Get one of those guys. Bring in Romo. You have a pretty nice setup in the backfield.
But I think it's changing. The Jets Browns has potential. Hand. Because the draft picks. That's the thing.
Well, the reason the Browns have potential, but it's not there yet. You know what I'm saying? They have to draft it, and they have yet to successfully figure out how this draft thing works. Then the problem with the Browns. The problem with the Browns is the fact that they just don't understand the draft, and I think they listen to too much of like Mel Kiper and these Todd McShays and these draft experts. And they're like, oh, well, you need to get this if you're the Browns, and you need to get that if you're the Browns, yada, 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 yada. And then they get those players, and they end up being busts. I think that a lot of people are starting to realize that, there's a reason why you just, you got your little show on ESPN, and you're over there just saying what you think. Oh, well, this is who they need to get, blah, blah, blah. Johnny Manziel. And anybody who was from Texas that knew the motherfucker said, don't get this guy. He's not going to work out. He's not NFL material. But you still listen to the guys like Mel Kiper. The only motherfucker that said anything that not to pick up Johnny Manziel was the one motherfucker that everybody should have listened to, and that was Skip Bayless, because Skip Bayless is a Texas sports guy. And he's the one. You had the fucking Stephen A. Smith out there blowing up, oh, Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football. Oh, yeah, Johnny Football. You fuckers have no fucking clue what you're talking about. So, I mean, the deal is that if you're Cleveland, you need offensive linemen. We know you need secondary, and it probably wouldn't hurt to get another pass rusher in this draft. You're going to be possibly reaching for an offensive lineman in this draft. A lot of projects are in this draft at offensive linemen, but it is deep in pass rush, and it is deep in fucking secondary. So by all means, if you can get a caliber running back, not your little Isaiah Crowell's and your fucking, and Isaiah Crowell is a good back. He's a good complimentary back. He's a third down back. I think that a lot of Cleveland fans think that Duke Johnson is going to be next Maurice Jones-Drew, but he's not that fucking guy. You're going to regret going, not trading back a few picks and trying to get Leonard Fournette. You're going to regret it later on because you need offensive production and you don't have it in Cleveland. You need to find a way to move that ball consistently down the field and not turn it over, not have all these, it's just, that's what New England does, is that they can move the ball down the field systematically. If you can get a quarterback later on in this draft, fine, go ahead and get that quarterback. You have a Cody Kessler there, ride it out with him for a year, get your quarterback next year because the quarterback draft is going to be thick next year. But if you have to, if you have to justify getting a quarterback in this draft with your fans, then there's two quarterbacks, if I'm Cleveland, I'm looking at that are going to fall. One is Seth Russell. He's a Baylor guy. Now, Seth Russell will fall if he doesn't fall completely out of the draft. He's going to fall because of all the bad publicity at Baylor surrounding Baylor. First off, that's going to definitely hurt Seth Russell's stock. And the second thing is that he did get injured towards the end of the season. He got an ankle injury. You're probably not going to use any one of these quarterbacks for a year or two, but that's a year or two you can give them to learn your playbook, learn a system, develop a system around him, get him to where he can go out there and call the plays, get him comfortable in a system, and then you can throw him out there. Seth Russell will drop. So if you're looking for a project quarterback that could pay high dividends, Seth Russell's that guy. Another guy that I like because he has a pretty quick release, but he's going to be another one of these guys who's going to take some time developing. But if you can get a good, strong offensive line, I think he could probably move the ball downfield pretty good. And coming out of high school, he was one of those guys that everybody thought he was going to be a future first pick overall, even coming into LSU, and that is Gunnar Kiel. Gunnar Kiel will probably fall down. I mean, he's probably going to fall down into the later rounds. You can get a Gunnar Kiel in Cleveland, and you're not going to throw him out there and start him immediately. But if you can give him some time to develop before you even throw him into fucking, preseason games. Before you throw him into the preseason games, let him learn the offense, develop an offense around him, let him learn reads for the first few years. So whenever you get him out there that second or third year in a preseason game, he'll know what to do. Both of those guys I like pretty good. They could possibly pay big dividends later on, but you're going to have to build up the team, before you throw out these guys, which is what a lot of these teams don't get. Like, the teams that traded up, Philadelphia gave up quite a bit. Now, I know they got a first-round pick still, but imagine if you wouldn't have traded up that pick and then coming into, like, next year, okay, you didn't get Carson Wentz. You don't have a quarterback. Maybe you run it out with Sam Bradford. You have a shitty season, and then you get maybe they would be in the running for a Leonard Fournette this year to get that running game going. Maybe they could get a Mike Williams or a Corey Davis. They still may end up landing Corey Davis. That's still a possibility. And in fact, I know they're going to shoot for Corey Davis, but maybe you were going to get one of these top tier wide receivers. I think that at the end of it all, that you're taking a lot of risk whenever you pick a quarterback and you pick him first overall or second overall in the top 10, because he's going to be a project regardless. He's still going to have to learn your system. He's still going to go out there, and if you don't have the offensive line, the running backs, the wide receivers to help him progress that first year, then it's you're playing a dangerous game. I think that's what helps. You look at a guy like Russell Wilson, compare him to a guy like Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck has to take the team, carry it on his back, and what has happened to Andrew Luck is his stock is continuously falling. Where Russell Wilson comes in, he has a really good defense behind him. He had a really good offensive line, especially that year that they won the Super Bowl. Pass rush was off the charts. Secondary was off the charts. Marshawn Lynch, beast mode. The wide receivers were pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So Russell Wilson's stock actually increased. He was a third-round pick. Andrew Luck everybody was having a suck for luck contest. But we see where these ended up, and that's why. I mean, I don't think that like I said, I don't think that it's going to help Cleveland or it's going to help San Francisco at all. Just trying to get a quarterback, and then he's going to end up helping your system that much. I think it worked better for Philadelphia than it did LA, because Philadelphia at least had some pieces there to work with, where LA, You know what I'm saying? They were just so far gone that I mean they had Todd Gurley and they figured, okay, we'll bring in Jared Goff. That they need better offensive linemen in LA. You know, it just they needed a lot more than what they got right now. I mean, I hope they do good next year, but I just don't see it.
I think the Browns financial fucked. Browns have potential. You gotta leave potential, right, man. They need to stockholders. You gotta turn it around. You know what I'm saying? But this is paying in this video because this is what I'm talking about NFL talks. There's a Besrstown offseason draft and Jason saw episode 1. Pretty sure next week because I'm going to check with the Bears in a Jets next week. So just if for those people, I'm doing like every week. They do the mock drafts post them, so we do that work to do. The draft agency. So I'm gonna call it agency because you guys know what the Bears need. The agency is gonna be the best free agency in a long time. So I'm gonna free agency. So I'm probably do more. It's just this is a base talk show, sports, definitely the media. I think financially defensive. I think financially defensively in San Francisco needs to learn offensively. You have a running back. San Francisco needs offensive lineman. So that's what happens, man. I'm a Bears. Next week, that's my happiest. Because I think that Bears gonna be real good next week. So it's just waiting for me to ranching, complaining, but no, but this is an NFL talk show. So Bears official talk show. So the Bears, you're on clock. So the Jets too. So get ready, boys. So what's your fight got supposed to fight in the show?
Yeah, that's it, man. I just like I said, I'll go ahead and get into next week. I'll look at what the Bears are picking, and I'll look at the let's see, we got 4 and 5, so we'll have the Bears and
Jets.
Jacksonville. Okay, yeah, I'll look at both of those.
And
Huh?
the Jets.
Yeah, we'll do the Bears and the Jags next week, and then we'll do the Jets and who's number 7?
See. Hold on. First, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who's number 6? Hold on.
We'll do the Jets and whoever's number 7 next week, and then we'll go down. Yeah, St. Louis. We'll go down the list.
LA, nothing Lewis.
Yeah.
People know. I guess I'm talking more. Week after week, compared to fantasy. Probably talk about I'll talk about another on, but next week. It's just I'm doing now talking about college, NFC. Fuck future haters. So it's like really go damn. But this is it. This is the Dots. Solar Park champ. For now, out of here. We go.